Yes, morning my people, it's your boy Carl Konadu and welcome to another video in the Upgrade the Dream video series. We're getting closer and closer to the conference now, my friends. If you don't know, on Saturday the 4th of April, I'm doing an amazing, incredible, life-changing conference called Upgrade the Dream, where we get to meet the real you. What are you dreaming about? Let me come in nice and close. What are you dreaming about? I want to know what you dream about. I want to know what you want to create. I want to know what you want your legacy to be. Not the one you wrote on your goals so that you can sound good. Not the one you put on your vision board because you thought it was the right thing to do. Next to that watch or that car or that holiday. I want to know why you really think you're here. And if you couldn't fail, what would you do? That's what Upgrade the Dream is about. I want to get into the internal. I want to get into the part where we get excited, where we get inspired, where we get creative about the impact that we're going to have in this world. And on Saturday, the 4th of April, I'm bringing together a bunch of leaders and experts and go-getters to do just that. Upgrade the Dream. So if you haven't already, go to Eventbrite or simply go to upgradethedream.com and get your tickets now. It's time for you to start living the life that you have dreamt of and make it a reality. Right, cool. The sales pitch out the way, let's get this cracking. So, in today's Upgrade the Dream video series, I want to talk about money. I want to talk about moolah. I want to talk about money, my friends. Oh, my days. Money can be such a touchy subject, and I know for a long time, money was such a touchy subject for me. And it's something I'm still working on, still being coached on, still trying to learn about. But I want to talk about how we upgrade the dream in the area of personal finance and wealth. Right, I'm going to start off by saying this. My friends, we are going to work from the internal to the external. Yeah? I'll say that one more time. We are going to work from the internal to the external. If you've ever been a part of one of my Goals to Greatness workshops, you will know exactly what that means. I've told everyone, and we live on a day-to-day basis in a world where everything is created twice. Once in our mind, second in reality. So we can't live a life thinking that if we change the external, then everything is going to change. That's not how it works. We need to change the internal before we change the external. And listen, I'm not about to start getting into some universe, airy-fairy, booky, blah, blah, write a check and stare at it and say a mantra for 5 hours type stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about some real reality about how we actually change our money files. Because last year, my business broke the 100K turnover mark, which means we now have to pay VAT, which is really annoying. But that's besides the point. My business broke the 100K turnover mark. And I remember I used to say to my business partner all the time, look, if we can get someone to pay us £100, we can get someone to pay us £1,000. And if we can get someone to pay us £1,000, we can get someone to pay us £10,000. And if we can get £10,000, Aziz, we can definitely get £100,000. And to see that come to life was confirmation and evidence that in your life, you don't need to wait before situations and circumstances are perfect before you change. You've got to change to make the situation or circumstance perfect. I was working on my business when my business had no money, knowing full well that one day we were going to be a 100K turnover business. And one day we will be £1 million turnover business. And one day we will be 10, and then we will be 100. And then we'll be £1 billion turnover business. But my friends, that happens in the internal before it happens in the external. So you can get all the spreadsheets that you want. You can download all the apps that you want. But in your mind and in your heart, if you don't create the right money files for even believing that you can earn and achieve a certain amount of money, my friends, nothing in your financial bank account will ever change. That's why they say all the time, if you give a broke person £1 million, they will still be a broke person in a matter of months, because it's not about how much money you have, it's about how you use the money you have. So step number one, my friends, is we are going to address the internal money file before we address any external issues. It's not about the car that you drive. It's not about the salary that you get. It's about what you believe inside your mind. And the way that we do that, you already know this. Remember, I told you, your mind is like a garden. And if you want to have a beautiful garden with wonderful flowers and lovely roses and it smells really nice and it's tended to well, you've got to tend to it. You've got to filter what goes in. You've got to work on it. And it's the same with your mind. If you want to change your money files, you've got to change what you believe and what you know about money. Now, specifically, we're going to start with this. If you haven't already, I want you to go and read a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And for some of us, some of our personal development gurus out there, or our avid readers, maybe you've read it already. And if you've read it already, I want you to go read it again. I think I've read that book maybe 4 times. So I want you to go and read that book because it starts off, and the whole mantra of the book is essentially about getting you to start thinking about what do you believe about money and operating from a place of what is possible rather than from a place of everything seeming impossible. Because money is just physical paper. That's all it is, But the amount of money that we have directly equates to the amount of value that we provide and we bring to the marketplace. Ooh, I'm getting deep, but let's not go there yet. First step, my friends, we need to change our money files, yeah? So what you believe about money needs to shift, and that comes from the information that you consume. Number 1, go and read the book Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. If you don't want to do that, then maybe you need to go and find a YouTuber or you need to go and find a podcast that you want to start listening to that uncovers and talks about some of the topics about money. But I'd go even a step further. I'd find someone in your network. Find someone in your friendship group or someone in your contact list that you know and you want to go on this money journey with, and just start talking about money. Remember I told you there's 3 types of friends. My pastor said this to me and it's always stuck with me. There's 3 types of friends. There's friends that we have fun with, stage 1. There's friends that we seek wise counsel from. And there's friends that we have that we run with. Not many people in our friendship group can do all 3. So when I ask you to go and find a friend or to pick a contact, I'm also asking you to exercise wisdom and decide, where am I picking that friend from? Because if something like money, which is a big part of my life, something I want to be educated on, or something I want to grow in, if I go and choose one of my friends that I only ever have fun with, perhaps the information that I'm getting might not be correct, or we might not be on the same wavelength. And that's not a judgment to anyone. But you've heard me say it before. Successful people choose their friends. They don't let their friends choose them. Because if your friends could choose you, and maybe some of you, your friends are choosing you, and when you look at your life, you wonder why it's not going the way it is because you're letting people have your time that don't need it. There are some people that I love, that are great friends, that will not get certain time from me. Like, that's just how it is. There's friends that you play with, there's friends that you seek wise counsel from, and there's friends that you run with. Some people can't be in all of the categories. So you need to go and find someone that when it comes to money, they're already good at it, or they're already on a journey with it. Start having conversations with them about money. Find out what their financial disciplines are. Find out about the way they manage their money. Find out about the apps that they use. Find out about how they track their money. Find out about their financial goals. Just talk about it. Just talk about it, because a big part of the issue when it comes to personal finance and building wealth for certain people growing up in certain communities, you just never talked about money growing up. It just wasn't a topic of conversation. So anything that you have internalized about money is there, and whether it's right or whether it's wrong is how you operate. So we need to go back to that point where we're actually looking at the files that are in our money computer and addressing them and saying, okay, cool, which ones need an upgrade and which ones need to be uninstalled? So let's really start from the internal to the external. Let's address those money files, the books that we're reading, the content that we're bringing in, the people that we're speaking to about. Let's address those money files. So that's number 1 in the area of personal finance and building wealth. Number 2, my friends, and this one's really, really important because this is one that people often miss. I know I told you to go and find someone in your contact list to talk about money with. I need you to go even a step further. I need you to go and get a financial coach. You see these muscles. you see this fitness. If you want to be great in a certain area of your life, you need to learn from the greats. So when I find people in the area of gym and fitness and health, and they're great at it, I ask them to coach me. I ask to train with them. I ask them to be around me. It's exactly the same principle when it comes to money. Get yourself a coach in the area of money. And listen, I'm not saying you need to go and spend £1,000 a month to find yourself a coach that's going to go and rinse all your money and leave you broke. Don't be sending me no email saying, you taught me to do this, and no, that's not what I'm talking about, my friends. I'm talking about you finding someone, again, this is about you being resourceful and exercising your current contact list and finding someone who is either an expert or who works in or who's great or maybe even just an accountant. When it comes to money, they've got some sort of expertise and knowledge, and sit down with them and say, look, for 3 months, can we just sit down once a month and just talk and uncover how you manage your money? And can you help me set up the systems and the processes that are needed to help me manage my money better? Because again, going back to the internal versus the external, if you want to change the way you view money and you want to level up in the area of personal finance and wealth, you've got to surround yourself with people who do exactly the same. And now I don't want you to just surround yourself in terms of like being in areas where you're networking with them. That's good and that's great. And even being in WhatsApp groups, that's brilliant as well. I want you to go a step further though. I need you to be sitting down with these people, opening your laptop, getting your spreadsheet out and be like, look, this is my money. How do we level up in this area? You know, how do we grow in this area? If you want to grow, my friends, I've said it before, growth is not automatic. It's something you've got to be deliberate about. So go find that person. Every single one of us, we've got someone in our community or in our network that when it comes to money, they position themselves and they act out as an expert. Go and find that person and steal some of their time and say, look, I want to sit down with you. I want to learn more about money, and start listening to the right podcasts and start listening to the right YouTube content creators. Because money, my friends, is just a vehicle for us to create the life that we want. And finally and thirdly, my friends, I want to end on this when it comes to money. Because for a lot of us, sometimes when we think about money, we think about jobs. So growing up, you know, the only time people spoke about money was either when someone owed them or they owed someone, well, in my case, definitely when we owed someone, when we owed someone, or when someone was working. That was it. So I saw money as a direct transaction for manual labor. And what happens is, if that is your mind file, you will only ever think about money in terms of manual labor. You will never think about money as something that can be created for you by the value that you bring to the marketplace. So yes, my friends, if you want to make more money, you need to make more value. How do we make more value? We make more value by improving the person that we are and what we bring to the marketplace. You see, when my business was only able to charge £150, in my mind, I was only bringing £150 worth of value. I didn't have no experience. I didn't have no credibility. We didn't even have a website. And the materials that we were sending our clients were probably worth about £150, you know? But now we have gone on that journey of building a website, of learning how to run a business, of getting credibility by delivering our service more. It means that the value that we can ask for from the marketplace is more. We've got that credibility. You know, we've been doing it for a little while now. Our content looks better. The materials, the quality of what the product actually is better, so we can charge more. So my friends, in your life, in your career, or in your business, when you're wanting more money, you don't just want to look at it as, how can you give me more money? You got to be asking yourself the question, how can I provide more value? How can I add more to your life? Because the more I add to your life, the more I can ask for. And actually what you start to find is the more you add, the more people are willing to give you. It doesn't even become a case of, just asking for more. It becomes a case of people giving more because you're adding more value. So my friends, when it comes to personal finance and wealth, it's time for us to upgrade the dream in that area of our life. Let's level up. Let's change our internal money files. Let's grow. Let's learn. Let's get ourselves a financial coach. And more importantly, if we want to get more money, we need to give more value. Let's level up and let's grow ourselves. Let's learn new skills. Let's build more credibility. Let's build a bigger profile. And let's go out there and let's get massive amounts of value and massive amounts of return on everything that we're doing. And if you haven't already, my friends, please grab your tickets for Upgrade the Dream. the personal development conference of the year. I'm telling you, it's going to be absolutely life-changing. If I do say so myself, no, but seriously, it's going to be absolutely incredible. So I want to see you there. I want to see you grab your tickets. I want to see you, more importantly, invest in yourself. I don't want to hear you make excuses. I don't want to see you wait for your friends to say if they're going. You're not in primary school anymore. You're not a child. I want to see you take this step and say, I'm going to invest in myself so that I can grow and make this the best year of my life. So go to Eventbrite or go to upgradethedream.com. Make sure you're signposting friends, family, and loved ones to getting tickets as well. And let's make this year the best year of your life. And most importantly, my friends, it's your boy Carl Konadu saying, have a good day.